Hello there, this is James and you're watching Tixee Live. And in fact, you're watching a Tixee Live watch-along the ECB Interest Rate Decision. But first of all, a very good afternoon to you all. Before we get started into build-up of this event, don't forget, these little videos are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should ever be taken as financial advice. I always suggest you do your own research and do your own due diligence. And of course, know the risks at hand before entering any trade. With that out of the way, let's get started. So today is the day that the ECB finally joins the rate hike club. The rate hike club. At 12:15 in technically 14 minutes, the ECB will notify the market that it has indeed increased interest rates. It joins the likes of Bank of England, RBA, the Reserve Bank of Australia, Bank of Canada, and the Fed, etc. So it actually joins those guys in the rate hike club. Why is it taking them so long? That's a question I do not know the answer to. But anyway, the last time, like I say, they raised interest rates was back in 2011. 2011. Back then, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 was the #1 movie, and Adele's Rolling in the Deep, I'm not sure if I know that one, was the #1 song. So like I say, last time they raised interest rates, these were the top movies and the top song at the time. But the reason, obviously, where the ECB is having to raise interest rates, like all the central banks are having to do so, is they're trying to fight inflation. And currently, the Eurozone inflation is currently at 8.6%. 8.6%. Okay. And everybody else, although I'm talking about the big central banks, like the Bank of Canada, their interest rate's 2.5, US 1.75, Australia 135, UK 125, and the euro is still on 0.0 till today. Till today. That all changes. But what's it going to be? You know, that's the big question. I think, excuse me, sorry. Throat got a little dry. My apologies. What's it going to be? Because obviously the market assumed, going on forward guidance, what Christine Lagarde, the ECB president, said last time. She said 25 basic point rate hike in July, like today, and 50 basic point rate hike in September. So basically the market assumed we are going to have a 25 basic point, and we still may have. However, there was a rumor which broke a little later, beginning of this week. That's a good question. Hello, Eric. You feel it'll be 0.5, not 0.25. That you may just be right. To be honest, my friend, you could be right, because, like I say, like what I said, the beginning of the week, there was a rumor that they were considering a 0.5 interest rate hike. Okay, and that obviously gave the euro the boost at the time. Okay, nice to meet you, Eric. Thank you for talking. And that's brilliant. I love interaction, so I really appreciate that. But and you might be right. Like I say, but there was a rumor which broke at the beginning of the week that they might do a 50 basic point rate hike, and so the market got a bit optimistic, and the euro got a boost because of it. That's very similar, though. Very similar. This actually was reported in Reuters. That was very similar to what happened with the Fed when they did their interest rate hikes, because everybody assumed when the Fed was going to raise interest rate hikes, okay, they were going to do 50 basic points. That was priced in. And then a story broke on the Wall Street Journal, which said that the Fed was going to raise rates by 75 basic points. So this might be the same thing. They might be preparing us. This rumor might have been slipped out on purpose to give us, to let us know that it will be 50. But it's umming and ahhing, 25 or 50. Because if they were to do 25, then Christine Lagarde will save face, because that was what she said in forward guidance. She said that. That's what she said. Look at us all. I think the inflation rate will be 8.8, but it was 9.1. You're right. You're absolutely right. The US, there was a shocking CBI with the US. It was expected to be 8.8, but it came in at 9.1. And for a while, they were level with the UK. The UK sorted that out yesterday. They actually are now at 9.4, so they have the king of the roost. But that's very good point there. Very good point, Eric. But like I was saying, yes. So if they were to do 25, Christine Lagarde would save face. She said she was going to do that, but I don't think 25 is enough. I really don't. I think they need to be a lot more aggressive. They need to go 50. I really generally do believe they need to go 50. I mean, if all the other central banks, look at Bank of Canada. They surprised the market with their last interest rate decision. They increased it by 100 basic point. The RBA did 75. The only ones who are doing it quite slowly is the Bank of England. They were the first to raise interest rates, but they did 25 last time, and the expectation is next time maybe the BOE might do 50. But anyway, I really think they need to do more than 25. But those who watch me several times, you know that. You know full well that I believe Christine Lagarde is extremely dovish. That's what I believe. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, good. It's a nice, interesting question, Eric. Why did yesterday Tesla dropped 75% of his Bitcoin investment? The reason why they did that is because though they had a very good earnings report in general, they were a bit lacking in capital, actual capital, liquid cash. So apparently they liquidated a good percentage of their Bitcoin holdings to free up some cash for them in their cash reserves. They actually freed up 2 billion, but that's why they did that. And like I say, yeah, it was at 24, but it's 22 now, I think. But we'll have a look at that in a bit. Eric, this is brilliant. Thank you, Eric. This is really good. I really like it. Okay, so yeah, I think it should be 50. The market thinks it's 25, but anyway. Also in focus at the same time will be the ECB deposit rate as well. This is the rate of interest that creditors who have spare liquidity pay when they pay overnight for the bank to hold their spare liquidity. So that's been a negative 0.25. So that'd be interesting to look at as well. But anyway, there's so many factors going down to this decision. Obviously, we have EU relief with the Nord Stream 1 being back online. I believe this is only temporary relief because I think there's a lot more to this than we think. Okay, currently, it's on 30% capacity. Next week, don't forget, Putin said without this turbine, it'll go down to 20%. Okay, and I'm pretty sure there's more to this, and there's going to be more problems with this in the future. So that's something else. Something else the ECB has got to contend with at the moment, and that's happened over the last 2 days. The Italian political crisis. Obviously, we know Mario Draghi resigned today for the second time in a week, but this time his resignation is being accepted. Okay, and now we've got political turmoil in Italy. Don't forget, Italy borrows, borrowing costs. Because of this, don't forget to look at the bond yields. Okay, it's Italian borrowing costs is very high, with the German and Italian yields over 200 basic points difference. Okay, and don't forget the ECB is responsible for monetary policy across all the 19 countries who uses the currency. And they don't want to see different bond yields for different countries. And this is the rock and the hard place they're in. Okay, by raising interest rates, countries which are struggling to borrow, it's going to be more expensive for them. So, the big threat, and this is what they're really scared of, if they were to do this, raise interest rates, and they need to do it to fight inflation. But if they would do it too quickly, or to do it in general, they're worried of pushing Europe into another debt crisis. So that's the thing. This is the thing. So, like I say, they've got to deal with Italy at the moment. They've got, obviously, there's still the concerns with the Nord Stream pipeline. That's still very much in the minds of the market because I don't think that's over with. And yeah, and the same high inflation. They've really got to do this. Yes, it's doing the live stream for ECB. I'm covering. Oh, for the press conference, I can't do, unfortunately, but I would do a recap of the press conference later afterwards. Definitely, Eric. So yes, so yeah, that leads me to that. Very good point, Eric. Is that, of course, the press conference happens about half an hour after this announcement. Now, usually the ECB interest rate decision is really flat, is boring. But the press conference is where the fun begins. And I do think this press conference is going to be pretty exciting. And like I said, I can't do a live stream of the actual conference itself, but I will be going back on air afterwards to give you a rundown of what was said and what it means. So feel free to join me with that a little bit later. But yeah, I know in the press conference, she's going to be pushed a lot on what's these anti-fragmentation tools they're going to use. And what is the rate circle, as in what sort of circle they're planning to raise interest rates bit by bit? How often are they looking to do that? So she will be pushed on that. And like I always say, Christine Lagarde, in my opinion, is extremely dovish. Extremely dovish. Yes. So for my 5 minutes, you're right. In 4 minutes, Eric, we will know exactly what they're going to do. But anyway, let's discuss some potential scenarios. Of course, these are only potential scenarios. And this was actually from a question left in one of the comments as well. I was going to do this anyway, but like I say, great minds do think alike. So brilliant question. This was from my friend. He said, hi, James. Scenario 1, what will happen to the euro? 25 basic points. Scenario 2, 50 basic points. What can happen to the euro? And he says scenario 3. Again, great question, brilliant question, but I was going to do this anyway. But like I say, great minds think alike. And I've actually done several scenarios. Potential scenarios, what could happen with this announcement. Okay. Scenario number 1. Again, nobody knows for certain, so this is no advice, obviously. Scenario number 1, ECB hikes rates by 25 basic points. Euro bulls gets disappointed. So we could then potentially see a weak euro because 25 is just not enough action. So that could be potential scenario 1. Potential scenario number 2, they raise the rate hikes by 50. And in the press conference commits to a further 50 basic points in September. That's then 100 points, 100 basic points within the 2 interest rate hikes. And the euro bulls get a boost if this was to happen, potentially. Scenario 3, euro hikes rates by 50 basic points. The market's priced it in already because they believed in the rumor, and very little effect happens to the euro. I mean, in fact, maybe the euro might see a bit of selling pressure because of it. And final potential scenario number 4, ECB raises rates by either 25 or 50, and the market does nothing, but instead waits for the press conference. Trust me, I've seen that happen many occasions. When the interest rates come out, like I say, ECB interest rate decision is usually extremely boring. So, like I say, really boring. And usually, like I say, the market doesn't move, and they wait for the press conference, and that's when the action begins. Couple more questions here. Brilliant. I'm loving this. If rates will go by 100 basis points, would Italy and Spain have problems refinancing their public debt? They would be extremely in a serious problem. Italy in particular. Don't forget they're going through this political turmoil as well. This anti-fragmentation tool, which she's going to talk about, is to help Italy because their yields is above 3%. It's something really scary. So yes, that would really seriously put Italy under pressure. And the other question is, only France and Germany okay with high interest rates? If so, why would they have it higher and put pressure on countries, i.e. Spain, Portugal, Italy? Actually, no, they're not okay with high interest rates either. Because don't forget, Germany has a massive gas issue and energy crisis. So that's a great question, by the way. France, slightly manageable. But again, like I say, the big two is France and Germany. And this is interesting because don't forget, France and Germany mainly is trying to ask the other countries to help them out with the gas situation, with the 15%. And all these little countries like Spain, Portugal, Italy are going, well, where were you guys when we were in the debt crisis? How come there's one rule for you and one rule for me? But anyway, got to go. But that's a great question. Very great question. I don't think if Germany's okay with it, they can survive it slightly better than Spain and Portugal because they have a slightly stronger economy. But like I say, they're under a lot of pressure. Right, here we go. Okay, let's get this off. Get ready, guys. Get ready. Okay, let's bring up the euro as well. Okay, so we see the euro movement straight away already. Okay. Okay, come on, let's see it. The euro's moving higher. This is interesting. This is currently trading at 1.202. What is it though? What is it? What is it? Give me the information. What is it? What is it? Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. 1 second. Come on. Come on. Come on. Right. They have surprised the market. They have surprised the market. 0.5, 0.50%, 50 basic points. And they've actually done the deposit rate at raised it by 0.25, so it's 0.000. So they have done it by 0.50 basic points. And the euro is obviously going for scenario 2 currently at the moment, currently trading at 1.0240. So they have raised it. They have raised it. I'm surprised by that. I am really, really, really surprised by that. That is a surprise. So maybe that story I was saying earlier on, what I was saying earlier on about them doing exactly what the Fed, that rumor coming out that they were going to do 50 was exactly what the Fed did. Exactly what the Fed did when they talked about 75. But that's a shocker. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. And yes, Eric, it is exactly what you said. You went for 50. You're right, buddy. You're absolutely on the money there. Absolutely on the money. You were. But yeah, there we go. There we go. Wow. Okay, so look, there we go, 50. So now all the attention is going to go on this press conference. This press conference is going to take center stage. It's going to be key. What is she going to say? What is Christine Lagarde going to say? Let's have a quick look at some of the other pairs and see how they've reacted to this decision. Let's go euro sterling. Yeah, nice strong move against the sterling. Currently trading now at 0.8570. If we look at the euro yen, again, yeah, okay, follows the euro dollar usually anyway. Currently trading at 141.97. So yeah, but seriously, this is the euro dollar. Now, will this be enough momentum for it? Enough momentum for it to go to break that key level I've been watching at 1.0268. But yeah, this I'm surprised. I'm genuinely surprised by that because for once they've been hawkish. But like I said, I did say they need to do this. This is what they needed to do. 25 would be no good. They needed to do 50. But yeah, there we go. Right. Okay. There we go. What can I say? Okay, so I'm going to be back online in about an hour's time, about 1:30 p.m. UTC. Okay, and I will discuss. I'll be watching the press conference. Okay, I'm going to watch it in a minute because it starts in a little while. And I will obviously dissect what was said, and we'll have to see how the euro is. At the same time, I'll talk about another earnings report, which is due today, which is Snap, and a couple of other things happening in the market. So please feel free to join me. It's going to be around 1:30 p.m., around that, maybe a little bit later than that. Depends when the press conference finishes. But anyway, that was, there we go. That's a shocker. Wow. Absolute wow. Well, there we go. Brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant stuff. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It's the thing with zero, aren't they? So you're right. It looks impressive, but again, they needed to do something. This is more for the market psychology. Don't forget as well. So the market gets more optimism. So it's a way of giving the market a little bit of optimism. But yeah, guys. By the way, can I say a big thank you to Eric, MM, a lady called Stephanie as well. Thank you so much for your interaction and your questions. This is fantastic. It's absolutely brilliant. I really appreciate it. But thank you, Eric. And I don't know what your name is, sir. Your initials is MM. But thank you so much for your interaction and your questions. I really, really appreciate it. I love it. So thank you so much. But anyway, there we go. I'm going to go offline now, and we'll watch the press conference and prepare for the 1:30 showing. So please feel free to come and join me for that. But anyway, again, thank you for everybody who's interacted and asked questions. It's been absolutely fantastic. I really appreciate it. And thank you. It was fun. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. But I really appreciate it. I really appreciate all your interaction. Thank you ever so much. Yeah. Finally. Yeah. Hello, my friend. Great question, by the way. Brilliant question. Thank you. But anyway, yes. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for all the interaction. Thank you for all the questions. We've had a shocker today. It's been a big surprise. Let's see what the press conference brings. This is where the fireworks really begins, I think. Let's see what happens with that. Come and join me at 1:30 p.m. and we'll discuss that. So see you then. But remember, if you're watching me on Facebook and you enjoyed this little episode, by all means, click the follow and follow me. If you're watching me on YouTube and you like it, by all means, click subscribe if you like. Hit the notification button so you know the next time I'm going live. If you've enjoyed this little video and found it interesting and insightful, and more importantly, you've put up with me for being over the top enthusiastic, but I can't help that. I just love the markets. Give me one of those. It's nice to know that you like what I do. But anyway, till next time, or till 1:30 p.m. UTC, remember, these little videos are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should ever be taken as financial advice. I do suggest you do your own research and do your own diligence, and of course, know the risks at hand before entering any trade. Till next time, every single one of you, trade safe.